What is up, nerds? Today I'm going to show you exactly how I color graded this video. I will say it's one of my proudest color grades, and it didn't take that long. There's two types of footage. There's Blackmagic log footage, I don't know exactly what it's called, and then there's also D-Log M footage. The Blackmagic footage is from a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. I know, it's a very old camera, but it still gets the job done. And then the other camera is the Osmo Pocket 3. That's where the D-Log M is. So two types of footage that we have to match together to make it as similar as possible. This is not going to be a long video at all, but there is a little secret sauce that I've seen in other videos that I implemented into this video, which I'll get to near the middle end. So without further ado, as every other YouTuber says, let's get straight into it. So the editing software I used was DaVinci Resolve. Now, all the color grading tricks that I'm teaching you, I'm pretty sure you can do in the free version of DaVinci Resolve. I have the studio version, but I'm pretty certain that you can do it all in the free version. So if you have your own footage that looks somewhat similar to this and you want to copy the style, feel free to copy it. Every artwork out there is copied / somewhat stolen from, so it does not matter if you copy. All right, so I'm just going to start with the first clip because it's already here. Now I'll put the settings I used for the Osmo Pocket 3 up on screen so you can just pause it and copy it if you have the Osmo Pocket 3. But I think out of all the settings I'm showing, the one that makes the biggest difference is having no noise reduction. Something about the grain, I don't know why, the grain on these cameras actually looks really good. And I never had the grain before because I never had the noise reduction on a lower setting. Right now it's on -2 noise reduction, but I always had it at actually +2, I think. So all night footage or any footage that would be taken even during sunset or a little bit after would have so much noise reduction on it where I'm just like, okay, this just looks like clay. It just looks smooth. So make sure if you do anything, remove the noise reduction, okay? It makes a night and day difference. So I have 5 nodes here. Don't worry about the 5th node because that's just a camera shake node. It doesn't really actually affect the color grade at all. So don't worry about number 5. Starting off with number 1, it barely makes a difference. I'm turning it on and off right now. All I did in this node was if you come down here to the primary color wheels, I put the gain a little bit towards the orange, the gamma a little bit towards the orange, and the lift a little bit towards the blue. So that gives like a very, very, very slight orange and teal look. And then I also brought down the tint and then brought down the temp. And then that's really all it does. It makes a very, very small difference. You can barely even tell. Second node, we have the film look creator, effect, preset, whatever you want to call it. And I have my preset on custom, color blend 1, effects blend 1, film look blend 1, skin bias 0, and I have the core look as cinematic. If I go through the different looks, you can see Rochester is more blue. I keep thinking it's Alaska, but Akasaka is even more blue. Elate is more green, and then vintage is just kind of green. I mean, it's supposed to mimic film, so it makes sense. But I have mine on cinematic. It has the most effect without having too much of an effect, if that makes any sense. Also, I'm not a professional color grader by any means. I don't know any technical terms, and I'm not a cinema level grader. I just eyeball it, and if I like the way it looks, then I click the export button. Okay, I don't go to the science of color grading and like, oh, I gotta make the skin tone perfectly here, and the blue is at this level. Like, I don't care. I just look at it. If it looks good, then I call it a day. I don't overcomplicate anything in the edit, because overcomplicating anything in the edit just leads to more and more fatigue, and I don't got time for that. I don't got time for that. So I just eyeball it. And then these are the exact settings I have in the color settings. So exposure 0, contrast 1.25. You can copy all of this. Split tone, no split tone, film gate, nothing there. And then everything else except the color settings is in default. So I'm pretty sure actually that I didn't change anything here. I just made the core look cinematic, but you can copy these settings. So that's node 2. Node 3, now this does a really big difference. I didn't do anything personally here. I just have the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 D-Log M to Rec 709 LUT. That's all I have. It's free to download from online. That's literally all I put in this one number 3 node. That's it. It just converts the log into Rec 709. But I did this after I already added the effects underneath. So the number 2 and the number 1. So for example, if I have just the Rec 709 conversion LUT, then under it, this is what it looks like without those enabled. If I enable number 1, you can see it makes a bigger difference now. And then number 2, you can see it really makes it that blue tone. I don't know if that made any sense, but that's what I did. You can just copy these settings. Number 4 is where the secret sauce lies, okay? This is where it's a cherry on top. So this look already looks good by itself. Maybe I can add more contrast. So I can add a little bit contrast node, and that looks good, right? But I like adding contrast a different way. So what we're gonna do here, now stay with me, okay? It's not gonna make sense. Stay with me. Is what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a glow node. So an extra node, and we're gonna put the glow effect on it. Then we're gonna make the shine threshold all the way to 0. Or yeah, all the way to 0. And then we're gonna make the spread all the way to 0. Stay with me now. We're gonna keep everything else default. We're gonna go into advanced controls. We're gonna go to composite type. Usually it's normal. Okay, this is what it looks like. We're gonna change it to hard light. Okay, stay with me. Now, usually it looks like this. Okay, this is one, or maybe I think it's point. Yeah, usually it looks like this. Okay, so this is what it looks like normal. Okay, and then this is what it looks like with hard light. But what I did, stay with me now, is I brought the opacity down to like I think 0.70 or something. And now it adds, if I enable and disable it, it adds like a level of contrast. I don't know how to explain it. The contrast looks smoother in the highlights, but also looks more punchy. Like, let me add another fourth node, and then let me just add just normal contrast, like a little bit. And then I'll show you guys the before and after. So this is just with normal contrast, okay? Looks like that. It adds contrast everywhere. It can crush some color sometimes. Let me disable that. And let's look at the glow contrast. It only adds it to the midtones and a little bit of highlight. It looks so good. Like, just try it, okay? I don't get why it looks as good as it does, but it just works, okay? But that's literally the entire color grade. And then if I play it, that's what it looks like. So in this area, before and after. And then this fifth node, there's no color effects going on. It's just shake. So this is what it looks like with the shake. Yeah, super easy. And this color grade, I just copied and pasted to this one as well. So it's the exact same color grade. And then it's the exact same color grade here and here, just without the glow and without the shake. The glow just didn't look proper here, so I just didn't add it. And now for this shot, we looked at all the Osmo Pocket 3 footage. It's the same color grade for all those. Now it's the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K footage. This is what it looks like color graded. This is what it looks like not graded. Massive difference. The log on this, you can clearly see, is a lot stronger. Like a lot stronger. So where do we start from here? Let's disable all the nodes and let's start. So number one is we have color space transform. So what I did here is I want to start with the base film look. Okay, so DaVinci Resolve comes with basic film LUTs. Try finding it, film looks. And I don't like using from here to here. They look too magenta for me. But from what is it? F13 to 2383. 2383 is my favorite. From D55 to D65, those are my favorite. And the D just stands for daylight. Don't worry about that. But in order to use these properly, you have to convert your footage into Cineon film log. So that's all we did here. So Blackmagic Video Gen 5, that's the input color space. Gen 5 is input gamma, because that's what I filmed with my Blackmagic. Output color space, this is what the timeline color space is in, is Rec 709. And then the gamma, which is what I want the footage to look like, is Cineon film log. So that's all it did. So if I turn it on and off, it's a very small difference. Honestly, I probably didn't even need to do it. But these LUTs work best with Cineon film log. So that's what I did. In node 2, I put D602383. So if I enable that, that's what it looks like. So the color space transform with the film log, this is what it looks like. And then in the third node, I did, again, the same film look creator, but this time I used Rochester instead of cinematic because I liked the extra blue tones. And when I was filming this, I actually filmed everything in a slightly bluer white balance on purpose, so it would be even more blue. Obviously, I can do that in here because this is raw footage, but I did that anyway because why not? So this is Rochester. Everything else is the exact same. Everything else is default. I'm pretty sure you can just copy the settings. I'll leave them on the screen for a second. But if I switch to cinematic, you can see it's a little too green. It's on the green side, and I don't like that. So I used Rochester for this. Everything else is, I'm pretty sure, default. And in the fourth node, I did that glow effect. So this is before. This is after. Very slight, but it gives it almost that, I don't know if you know what Topaz AI is, but it almost gives that Topaz AI boost in resolution, but obviously it's not increasing the resolution, but something about the contrast makes it look like it increases the resolution. So same thing, spread 0, shine threshold 0, advanced controls, opacity is on 0.07, and it's on hard light. This is what it looks like default, way too strong. But if you put on 0.07, nice and smooth. I love it. This effect is just beautiful. And then in the 5th node, so here I thought these areas were a little too bright. I mean, it was a little too distracting. So what I did was I brought the gamma down by 0.02, and I also brought the lift down by 0.02. I don't really, again, do it scientifically. I just look at the histogram and the scopes, or parade, whatever it's called here, and I see that there's a lot of fade, and I didn't want this much fade. So when I enabled it, you can see it brings the blacks down, or the bottom of the red down all the way, and brings the greens and blues down all the way, almost all the way. So it just gives it like a little bit more contrast. It makes it look more deeper. I like it, so I'm gonna just keep doing it. And finally, in the 6th node, I just added a slight, ever so slight bit of contrast, literally 0.064. And if I enable it, you can see it just gives it that slight bit of more punch. The thing with color grading that I learned the hard way is you don't want to overdo every step. You just want to sprinkle here or there, and the sprinkle will cover the cake. You know what I mean? You don't want to just add all these sprinkles and try to spread it around, and then it's just gonna get messy. Sprinkle a little bit here, sprinkle a little bit there, here, there, and now you have the cake evenly covered. So that's how I like to approach color grading, because I mean, look, it's 6 different nodes. Do I need 6 different nodes? I mean, no, but it works with my color grading process, and the effect and the final product is just absolutely beautiful. So that's literally all I did, and I just copied and pasted all these settings into all these shots before and after. Same thing with even these. This is not color grading, but with these wipe shots, all I did was I put the actual shutter speed really low, so there's a lot of motion blur. And I just, every time I saw a light source or like a layered light thing, I would just shake the camera violently, and it would give these streaks. And you just have to pick a good frame, and boom. Same thing with this. All the Blackmagic footage was color graded. It was literally, I color graded one shot and I just copied it. They're all 6 nodes. This one, I mean, look how much contrast there is, bro. Okay, this one's 4, so this one's less. But yeah, the glow, I mean, look at that glow effect. I mean, that makes a huge, huge difference. That's just insane. I mean, the opacity on this is much higher, but it's just beautiful. So mess around with these settings. See if it works for you. It's the same process I do for every single shot. And actually, if you want all these settings, so you can copy all these settings, but I actually have a LUT pack where I make all my different types of shots and different types of settings and scenarios I've used into one LUT pack. So if you want to get that, it's in the link down in the description. It's on sale right now, so, you know, for the most part, I do use this exact same process for all my videos now. I did change my work process for color grading recently. It's a little bit different than it used to be, but this is exactly what I've been doing for all my recent videos. So if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm only at like 120 followers right now, so maybe 200 by the end of March would be nice. I don't know. These exact looks and everything will be in my LUT pack in the description below. I'm gonna be making a full sound effects and editing breakdown of this video. That'll be a 40 to 50 minute video, so look forward to that. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.